a transformational time for powers, as I mentioned before, especially in the West. There's lots of exciting work to be done in power and utilities right now. Not work that probably would have been on the horizon 15, 20 years ago. So getting into the power utility business now is a lot more exciting than it probably has been in the past. And this transformation that we're talking about, it is probably going to take the length of entire careers to get done. So I think there's a lot more excitement to coming to a utility and doing work than maybe people had in mind.
Grant PUD is one of the largest publicly run utilities in the country. And with that, we have a substantial operation. So a large balance sheet, a large amount of revenues, and a very specific, detailed amount of work that needs to go behind that, ranging from standard business functions that I think most people are familiar with. So accounting, cash management, risk management, to very detailed in looking at how we're going to manage our growth strategy and generation strategy. And so to me, that's been the most interesting and I think surprising too to those that aren't here.
I'm working for the Grants External Funding Program, which is under Treasury, which is also in finance. So that's a new position I've been at for a couple weeks. We're creating the department and trying to figure out how to get grant federal money for the PUD so that we don't have to pay for everything out of our own. But before that, for 7.5 years, I was in the accounts payable department. So paid all the bills. Nothing to do with payroll, just paying vendors and contractors and supplies and inventory. We had this process we paid every week, multi-millions of dollars every week that we have to pay. It's amazing how many bills we have.
So spending the money, and now you want to go out and get
the money. That's true, yes.
I'm a senior economist in the energy supply management group. I do load forecasting, which is helping to figure out future electricity usage, to help with planning purposes and to provide insights on future retail revenue streams. I get to develop models to help understand our customers more. It's digging in to understand what's happening in Grant County. It's like a, front row ticket to the development of the county, and being a local resident and growing up here all my life, it's just a special position to be in.
Currently, I work in the Treasury Department. I've been there just over 2.5 years, but my career here at the district actually started a long time ago. In 2005, I started running START at Big Bend because I was attending Mosaic High School, and I was a student helper out at office services making copies. And from being a student helper in office services, I went to different departments like natural resources with the fish and power management, who did some of the wholesale trading at that point in time. And then I finally found my niche in accounting, and that's where I got a full-time job. In the Treasury Department, I actually work with debt. And when I first started in Treasury, I was working on the daily cash management processes. And during that time, I was able to learn about cash management, investing, debt, and then an opportunity came up last year where I was able to move into the debt portion of Treasury.
Oftentimes I think we think about finance as accounting, but there's all sorts of other work in finance that has to get done that helps tell that story and helps, in some cases, set up that story. So some very interesting work in finance I found interesting is controls work. So that's work that is around, hey, we're going to go out and spend money, but we want to put guardrails on how we set up the activities that we spend money on, because we want to help control the story that someone would interpret from looking at how we spend money. So that would be one. Another one is on the valuation side of the business. So when we look at all the things we want to do, we have to find a way to say, we want to do everything, but we can't do everything because we have a limited amount of resources.
there's always something something in different jobs out there that you can do and look at. If you get tired of one, or you're like, okay, I've learned this, I'm ready to move on, or whatever, there's tons of opportunity.
I've been in a number of departments, and I think that is really interesting. And I think for anybody interested in working at Grant PUD, that we have a number of opportunities. So I actually started in accounting. I worked in budget and rates and long-term financial planning and treasury. And I think there's a lot of elements to finance, and there's a lot more than just that. Risk management as well, insurance. And so I think that's the most interesting, is that we have a lot of opportunities and a lot of different skill sets.
One of my favorite things about working here at Grant PUD is making finance fun for everyone. And I know specifically in debt, it can be a very dry subject for a lot of people. So trying to make it relatable, understandable, but yet applicable to a lot of the employees' jobs, so that they feel like they have responsibility when they're actually doing their work. And they can go back and say, oh my goodness, this 85-page document, I put my name to that. So I think that is one of my favorite parts about working here.